September 21st, 2020, the Evergreen Packaging Paper Mill in Canton, North Carolina. 2 contract workers were fatally injured by a fire that erupted in a confined space when a heat gun fell into a bucket of flammable resin.
The incident at Evergreen Packaging involves 2 common safety issues, hot work and confined space safety, that have led to many major incidents investigated by the CSB. Proper identification of hazards, including policies and procedures to control those hazards, can prevent these tragic incidents from occurring.
During September 2020, the Evergreen Packaging Paper Mill was undergoing a planned shutdown, during which maintenance work was occurring throughout the facility. In one of the mill's units, a contract company known as Blastco was performing repairs in a vessel called an upflow tower. Another contract company, Rimcor, was working in a different vessel called a downflow tower. The 2 vessels were connected at the top by a large diameter pipe. Blastco was tasked with repairing approximately 30 feet of the inside surface of the upflow tower, which was made of a material comprised of fiberglass matting and epoxy vinyl ester resin, otherwise known as fiber reinforced plastic, or FRP. To repair the tower, the contractors would grind away the old damaged material, then apply alternating sheets of new fiberglass with layers of resin. The rate at which the resin hardens depends on several factors, including ambient temperature. The resin hardens faster in warmer temperatures. On the other hand, the resin takes longer to harden in cooler weather. And this is what Blastco workers experienced on the night of September 20th. On the particularly cool night, the resin and fiberglass matting slid down the walls of the upflow tower before the resin could harden. Blastco workers attempted several means of troubleshooting the resin, but were ultimately unsuccessful and continued to struggle. Sometime after 2 a.m. on September 21st, 2 Blastco workers resorted to using an electric heat gun to warm the resin, causing it to harden faster. The Blastco crew did not communicate to Evergreen or the Rimcor contractors working in the connected tower that they were using the heat gun. At approximately 5:15 a.m., the heat gun fell into a 5-gallon bucket of the flammable resin. A fire erupted inside the upflow tower. The Blastco workers inside the tower did not have a fire extinguisher or other means to put out the fire. They quickly evacuated. Smoke and flames from the fire traveled rapidly through the connecting pipe to the downflow tower, where 2 Rimcor contractors were working. They were overcome by the smoke and unable to escape. Both workers were fatally injured. During its investigation, the CSB identified 4 safety issues that led to the incident at Evergreen Packaging: hot work safety, pre-job planning, confined space safety, and combustible materials of vessel construction.
Hot work safety is a major safety issue that we identified during our investigation. We found that Blastco workers did not recognize the heat gun as an ignition source. As a result, proper hot work permitting and effective safety precautions were not implemented. It is important for companies to train their workers on different types of hot work. Some forms of hot work, like heat guns, don't produce sparks or open flames. Blastco should update its policies and training to include the use of non-flame and non-spark producing tools that can serve as ignition sources as hot work. Hot work should be avoided if a safer alternative is available. Effective pre-job planning could have prevented this incident. Blastco could have used a troubleshooting guide to address the cold weather, or may have been able to delay the work until ambient temperatures were warmer. Contractor and employee safety at Evergreen's facilities would improve from the implementation of a SIMOPS program that considers the hazards of work occurring close together in time and place. Had Evergreen had a SIMOPS program, it could have foreseen the potential hazards of the 2 jobs being done at the same time so close together, and could have put measures in place to prevent the fatal injuries to the Rimcor employees. When performing hazardous work inside a confined space, it is always critical that companies adequately understand and control hazards. This is even more important if the confined space is constructed of combustible material like FRP that can increase the severity of a hazardous event.
As a result of its investigation into the incident at Evergreen Packaging, the CSB made a recommendation to OSHA to issue a safety information product addressing the analysis and control of hazards that are not pre-existing, but which result from work activities inside permit-required confined spaces. The agency also recommended OSHA require owner-operators to ensure the coordination of simultaneous operations involving multiple work groups, including contractors. And the CSB reiterated a previous recommendation to OSHA to publish a safety and health information bulletin addressing the hazards and controls when using flammable materials in confined spaces.